Hi, I'm Emma Coleman with the Rockbridge Report. I'm here today with Jim Halasz. Jim was recently hired by Lexington City Council as our new city manager. Jim, thank you so much for being with us today.
Well, thank you. I'm really happy to be here.
First question I have for you, tell me where you grew up and a little bit about your past.
I grew up in southern Michigan, a small town outside of a small town called Tecumseh. I had 5 brothers, so there were 6 of us boys, and my mom and dad were saints raising us. We were very active, and we did a lot together and with friends, and it was quite a fun time growing up like it was in the outskirts of southern Michigan.
Mm-hmm. So how did you get from Michigan to Virginia?
Well, I've worked in city management and local government for about 30 years now, and I had worked in 3 different communities in Michigan and smaller communities. I was looking for something a little larger and ended up in Stanton, Virginia, just up the road, as the assistant city manager, and worked there for 12 years, and really enjoyed Virginia, enjoyed working for a city with the history and the culture and the attractions like Stanton, very similar to Lexington, so I'm very, very thrilled to be here.
And you were in Halifax a little bit too, right?
Right, after leaving Stanton, I wanted to try to be a manager. I had been assistant and deputy there 12 years, and decided I'd try a county because it is a little more rural, like my roots, and so I was there as the county administrator for 6 years. And enjoyed it, learned a lot, but I really do like small communities much better. I found that working with people closely, having a sense of community ideals and goals and purpose really motivates me and really is something that I find very meaningful.
Okay. For our viewers, can you talk a little bit about what a city manager does and what your responsibilities will be here in Lexington?
Sure. Well, I think what the city manager does is work with the people of the community, of course the elected officials here locally, the city council, the staff, to make sure that we provide the services and the quality of life and the amenities that this community or other communities desire. And so we're here for the public. We're available, accessible, willing to engage with the public at all time, and that's what I do as a manager. I want to engage with the stakeholders, the citizens of the community, the elected officials and the employees, so that we have the resources, the opportunity to, again, provide the services, the amenities, and create the community together that we all desire.
Mm-hmm. So kind of along those lines, what are some things that you're planning to do within the next couple months for Lexington? What's on your agenda?
Well, I have a lot to learn. So I'm, again, going to be meeting with people, going to meetings with different organizations, our different regional partners, and learning a lot. Listen to the staff, listen to the citizens and council. The budget is upon us very quickly. We approve, or the city council approves the budget that goes into effect July 1, but we start working on the budget as staff and the council soon after the new year. So that'll be coming on real quickly. We have a couple of key positions that are vacant. Frankly, our finance director is retiring soon, and so I'll need to replace that individual. I'll be working with staff and others to make sure we have a good new person on board in that very critical position. Working on capital projects. We all see things out in the community, on the street, that we'd like to see addressed, whether it's the streets themselves. Sometimes we have water line problems. Sometimes there are issues in the parks or downtowns that need to be addressed. I was meeting with the Main Street Lexington group this morning, and they mentioned a couple projects that they have that they'd like to see addressed in the community. And of course, then you have to try and balance all those competing needs. Unfortunately, in most communities, the funding just isn't there to deal with everything at once, so we try and schedule or program those different projects and expenditures in and agree on, as a community, how we will put them in place.
Okay. What were some projects in Stanton or Halifax County that you helped bring about that you think will help you in your time here in Lexington?
Okay. Well, I worked extensively with the downtown in Stanton. During my 12 years there, we initiated the Shenandoah Shakespeare, the Blackfriars Theater project. We built the parking garage downtown. We renovated the hotel, Stonewall Jackson, in the downtown Stanton. Did a lot of streetscape work. One of the projects I was involved with was bringing the trolleys to Stanton. There had been transportation in the community and outside of the community, and we worked on together jointly with the downtown organizations, the city, other stakeholders, what it would take to bring trolleys into Stanton to transport our visitors and our guests and our residents throughout the community. And of course, then we went to a bus service beyond the downtown area and the core of the city. So those are some of the projects I've worked on. Been very involved in tourism in Stanton and in Halifax County. And of course, Lexington has a very big tourism component, whether it's the two universities or the charm of the downtown and the surrounding area. This is a very attractive area to visit.
Okay. I want to move from Stanton to Halifax now. Some of your past colleagues, especially in Halifax County, didn't necessarily agree with some of your management techniques, and I wanted to ask you, what are your management techniques?
Well, as I was saying earlier, I believe in accessibility, communication, being in partnership with folks. But you know, when you say colleagues or maybe employees, I expect people to responsibly do their jobs. The people that work for me, that's my responsibility to make sure that they're serving the community in an appropriate fashion. So I do have some pretty rigorous standards from time to time to make sure that people are performing well. I've had very few problems with people throughout my career, just a few folks here and there that, you know, they have different views, they have different ways of engaging or not engaging in their work, and sometimes we disagree.
So you're going to be working with our city, Lexington City Council, quite a lot.
Oh, of course. I work for the council.
Yeah. So what is your take on them as a group and as people so far? I've
been very pleased. You know, I told the council when I came here and interviewed that I've been very selective looking at communities to work in for a number of reasons. You know, this is my life, my wife's life. It's not just a paycheck. We want to be comfortable in the community. We want to be involved here. We want to be able to have a good life and contribute in a meaningful way to the community and be involved. And that's what I've seen so far. It's only a few days, but I really enjoyed meeting with City Council during the interviews. I've enjoyed seeing them here in different activities and events thus far in the 3 days I've been here. So I'm excited. I think there are a lot of great people here in the community, and that's what makes a community strong, and that's what makes a community an attractive place for us to all to live and enjoy life.
Let me think. Do you have any, I know you're very, very excited to be here and you have a lot of plans, but do you have any concerns for the city?
For the city itself, you know, again, it's a balancing act. There are always probably more needs than there are resources, the financial resources or even the people resources. So it's important for us as a staff and as a city council to communicate very actively and thoroughly with the community so the community knows how we are dealing with the needs, the concerns, the challenges, because we won't be able to address everything at once. And so that's very important to make sure that happens on a regular basis. You know, that's why accessibility, come into my office, text me, phone me, email me, I'm available to hear you as citizens, to work with the staff, to work with the council and our partners in the community. So that people know and are assured that we are hearing them and working and moving forward, because there are a lot of challenges.
Is there anything else that you think Lexington residents need to know about you?
Well, I'm an active person. I like to be outdoors, so this area is beautiful. I've been already trying to find a place to run in the morning. I try to get out and run every other morning to stay healthy and stay active. And again, my wife and I both want to be active and involved personally in the community, so anything we can do to become involved, we're looking forward to it, and we're looking forward to getting to know people here in the community.
Okay. Well, Jim, thank you so much for being with us today.
You're welcome, Emma. Very much enjoyed it.
Thanks. I'm Emma Coleman for the Rockbridge Report. Thank you for joining us.